Claude's most powerful and capable model Fable 5 is back again. As you can see on my laptop screen, even Claude's newsletter says Claude Fable 5 is now available to you. It says Fable 5 is live on the Pro plan, ready to use in chat, Claude Cowork, and Claude Code. So, yes, Fable 5 is again visible, again available, and again being pushed as Claude's most capable general model. But is this actually the same Fable 5 people were excited about earlier, or is this a more restricted model with the Fable 5 label? That's the thing we will figure out later in this video. Officially, it was launched around a month back for the very first time, and that time presented it as a model above Opus, built for the kind of work that needs more depth, more planning, more intelligence, and more long running execution. Here on Claude's official LinkedIn post, they introduced Fable 5 as a Mythos class model made safe for general use. And this is important because Anthropic is basically saying that Fable 5 is not just a normal upgrade over Opus or Sonnet. They are saying its capabilities exceeds any model they had previously made generally available. The big areas they highlighted were software engineering, knowledge work, scientific research, and vision. And one line is very important here: the longer and more complex the task, the larger Fable 5s over other models. So, this model is not mainly being positioned for simple one line questions, it's being positioned for long, complex, multi step code where the model has to plan, execute, check its own work, and continue without getting lost. Just a few days after its launch, within the same week, Fable 5 was suddenly suspended. The issue was not the Fable 5 stopped working because of the normal bug. The issue was much bigger. According to Anthropic own statement, the US government issued export control directive. The concern was around national security and a possible method of bypassing or jailbreaking Fable 5's safeguards. Anthropic said that they had to disable the access to Fable 5 and Mythos 5 for all such users because the order took effect immediately, and they had no reliable way to verify nationality in real time. So instead of only blocking some users, they suspended access for everyone. Anthropic also said that they disagreed with the way it has happened. Their position was this was a narrow potential jailbreak, nor the proof that Fable 5 has some unique dangerous capability that no other model had. But still, they have to comply. So why it got disappeared almost immediately after its launch. And now Fable 5 is back again, and here Anthropic official Fable page we can see they are claiming this model can do now. They call Claude Fable 5 as Mythos level model built for ambitious long running projects. Mythos level basically means a very powerful frontier AI model, especially strong in coding, cybersecurity, long reasoning, vulnerability finding, biology, healthcare research, and a complex multi step task. Run Claude Fable 5 is an agent harness like Claude Code or Claude Manage Agents. Anthropic is saying Fable is through proactive and can test its own work. So the model is not just expected to answer, it is expected to behave more like an autonomous worker. Anthropic says Fable 5 can run inside an agent harness like Claude Code or Claude Manage Agents, and it can work for days at a time. That means it can plan across stages, delegate to subagents, or check its own work. This is basically the direction AI is moving in. Not just chatbot answers, but AI agents that can take a large task, break it down, execute it, verify it, and continue. For developers, founders, SaaS builders, and creators, this is a very big deal because many tasks are not just simple prompts anymore. They are full projects. Anthropic calls Fable 5 its more capable model for ambitious coding projects. They mention large migrations, complex implementations, and multi-day autonomous sessions. And this part is very important. Fable 5 can write its own test to check its work, implement design with high fidelity, and even use vision to check outputs against the goal. So, in simple words, if you give it a UI, a code base, or a screenshot, it should be better at understanding the target and building something closer to that target. This is exactly why I decided to test it with the front end landing page prompt, because front end design is not just a code, it's a layout, it's a base, it's a structure, which decides the spacing, typography, colors, copywriting, responsiveness, and visual taste. Then Anthropic talks about the enterprise workflows. They say Fable 5 can handle complex, multi-stage knowledge, work with minimal oversight from deep research to deliverables ready for review. That means teams can hand off large projects and review completed works instead of supervising each and every small step. Then in the vision section, they say Fable 5 can understand diagrams, charts, and tables inside files and PDF. It can help with finance, legal, analytics, architecture, and also evaluate its own coding work visually. So again, the promises are very clear. Fable 5 is not meant to be just faster. It is meant to be more independent and more reliable on hard work. Anthropic also clears that Fable 5 includes robust safeguards for the cybersecurity and biology, and by many queries in those domains are automatically routed to Opus 4.8 if flagged by the safeguards. So technically, you may select Fable 5 in some cases, but Claude may actually not use Fable 5 for the final answer. It may fall back to Opus 4.8. Also, it requires 30-day data retention for the safety monitoring. So this relaunched Fable 5 is powerful, but it is also more monitored, more controlled, more restricted than many people may imagine what they hear Mythos level model. Now let's test it out. Here you can see I have selected Fable 5 high, which means the high thinking, which is default recommended. Claude is also showing a note that Fable 5 is the most capable model and draws down usage much faster than Opus 4.8. So clearly this model is being treated as their premium model. The prompt is a front-end development task for the test. I'm going to give the prompt to all three models. Basically, let me write the prompt first, then I'll explain the prompt. For the test, I'm going to give the same prompt to all three models, Fable 5, Opus 4.8, and Sonnet 5, with the same level of high thinking. I asked the model to act as an elite front-end developer and a UI UX designer and create a complete responsive SaaS landing page for a fictional email verification platform called ClearMail. The constraints are also strict: no React, no Tailwind, no Bootstrap, no external animation libraries, only pure HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I also asked for a single index HTML file, modern SaaS design, dark background, green and blue accents, smooth animations, scroll reveals, pricing, features, and a clean conversion focus layout. So this is good test because it checks multiple things at once: design sense, copywriting, front-end code quality, layout, and attention to constraints. So let's see what these three models generates. This is Fable 5 output, and honestly, this is very good. The hero section looks polished, the headline is strong, every bounce goes to you and inbox, verify first. That copy is actually nice because it directly connects the problem with the solution. The UI has a dark premium SaaS feel, which was mentioned in the prompt. The green and blue gradient looks modern, and the visual on the right side gives the feeling of email verification happening in real time. It also includes strong CTS like start free trial and read the API docs, plus trust trial stats like accuracy, median check time, and email verified. The layout feels intentional, it does not look like a basic AI generated template. And when I scroll down, it has features, how it works, sections, pricing cards, and a final CTA section. So, from the front end landing page perspective, Fable's output is definitely impressive. Now, let's look this time for the Opus 4.8. And to be honest, Opus also did a very good job. The headline is here: verify every email before it bounces. This is also clean, direct, and professional. The design is similar in the theme, dark background, just a font family is kind of different, except everything is looking same. Green, blue gradient, SAS style, email verification, and a clean CTA buttons. The spacing is good, typography is nice, and overall it also looks like a usable landing page. But comparable to Fables, I personally feels Fables output look like a little more premium and a little more refined. Now this is the Sonnet's 5 output, and here honestly I did not like it as much as I liked previous both. It's not that bad, it's functional, it follows the prompt, and it creates a landing page. But compared to Fables and Opus outputs, the design feels less polished. The hero section, especially on the right hand side, the visual idea is not that strong. The overall page does not feel as premium as it was Fable or Opus. It feels more like a good developer output, but it still required much work at the developer's end. So, for this exact prompt, Sonnet is clearly behind Fable and Opus, in my opinion. So, here is my honest ranking for the particular prompts. Number one is, of course, Fable 5, because Fable gives the best output, best copy, best visual feel, best writing, best SAS look, and the page looks more complete. Number two is, of course, 4.8 Opus, also very strong. In fact, for the particular prompt, it did not see a much. Now, let's also look at the sum of public reactions and comparisons like here on X. People are comparing Fable 5 with other models like GLM, GPT 5.5, and Opus 4.8. We already seen the comparison with Opus 4.8. One comparison here is basically saying the Fable is the best pick for quality, but you pay more for it. Here is another tweet which where someone says Claude Fable is insane and that you can build an entire digital products ecosystem like this. Now I would not take every tweet as a guaranteed benchmark, but this also just shows how people are using Fable 5 in real workflows. They are not just asking simple questions, they are using it to build products, create strategies, generate assets, write content, and package digital offers. And here is another real world use case. This tweet says Claude can now write an entire job application like a top recruiter, including tailored CV, cover letter, and an interview preparation. Again, whether you fully agree with the tweet or not, the use case is very clear. People are using these models not only for coding but also for the structured professionalism workflows. And this is where Fable 5 could be useful when the output needs planning, formatting, and multiple deliverables together. But again, for the normal writing, I would still compare it with the Opus before spending Fable level usage, because as we saw in the landing page test, Opus was also very close. So, what would be my final opinion? Fable 5 is great for the test I did. It produced the best result. The landing page looks polished, modern, and more conversion focused than the other outputs. But at the same time, I did not think this feels like a completely unrestricted Fable 5 people imagined when it was launched initially. This relaunch feel more controlled, more guarded, and more carefully monitored. And Anthropic is also very clear about that. Some sensitive requests can be routed to Opus 4.8 automatically, and Fables require 30-day data retention for the safety monitoring. So, in my opinion, Fable 5 is powerful, but it is not the same raw Fable 5 that people may expected from the initial hype. For normal creative coding and business workflows, it is still excellent. Even Opus is excellent, but for the user expecting an unrestricted Mythos level experience, this is not that. This is more like Fable 5, but with a strong layers, fallback behavior, and premium usage cost. So my practical advice is, instead of getting more concerned about the model, try to focus on giving the best detailed prompt, because the output would be as good as the prompt will be. And use Fable 5 when the task is actually hard, complex coding, full product building, deep research, UI generation, long form planning, or work where the quality matters more than the usage cost. For simple tasks, Opus and even Sonnet may still be good enough. So that's it for this video, and thank you for watching it. If you want more real test of Fable 5 versus Opus, Sonnet, GPT, or other models, let me know in the comment section below.